Ladies, y'all can call me Love, okay? And fellas, y'all may prefer brother.
So, Ja Rule is currently panicking. And it's not simply because 50 Cent addressed Diddy in his new Netflix documentary. He's furious because 50 supposedly leaked something far worse. A private explicit video linking Ja Rule and Diddy. The moment 50's docuseries premiered, Ja Rule completely lost it on social media, labeling 50 a traitor, an informant, and an abuser. He hurled any accusation possible to distract from the core issue. Because, according to internal sources, 50 didn't just expose Diddy, he implicated Ja Rule as well. And that leaves Ja Rule facing a potentially career-ending scandal. He is a compulsive liar. It all began when 50 released his Netflix documentary series, Sean Combs: The Reckoning. 50 went to great length, obtaining never-before-seen footage of Combs and securing sworn testimonies from Diddy's closest associates.
The exclusive video obtained by Netflix shows Combs debating with his lawyers about strategy.
Listen to me. I'm gonna get off the phone right now, and I am going to let you professionals look at the situation and come back to me with a solution.
I feel like I need to wash, like I'm dirt. That was...
Most supporters praised 50 for publicly challenging Diddy in this manner. However, Ja Rule was displeased. Instead, he was infuriated and quickly made sure both 50 and the internet were aware of his feelings across social media platforms. To begin, he labeled 50 an informer, writing, "That man, constantly telling on someone, that old covert snitch of a man. You're a rat. You've always been and will always be a rat. Used car salesman, suit wearing, field goal nose having, Herman monster head guy." In a subsequent post, he questioned 50's true motivation for producing the documentary altogether. Let's be honest, that guy doesn't care about the victims. We all know the real reason he made the documentary. Herman is destructive to the culture. If he truly cared so much, he would donate the profits to foundations helping victims. Even after these outbursts, Ja Rule was still not finished. His next move involved bringing up 50's history of violence, commenting, "Herman is no different." Allegedly, this was accompanied by a news piece discussing how 50 supposedly assaulted his child's mother, Daphne Joy, back in 2013. He also pointed out the hypocrisy of public judgment. It's acceptable when he does it. It's an issue when I do it. But Herman is an abuser too. Allegedly. Interestingly, Ja Rule is not the sole person upset by the documentary series. Diddy also strongly disapproved of having his private footage utilized without permission, simply for viewing figures. He instructed his team to issue this official statement to attempt to undermine the documentary's credibility. Netflix is plainly desperate to sensationalize every minute of Mr. Combs' life without regard for truth in order to capitalize on a never-ending media frenzy. If Netflix cared about truth or about Mr. Combs' legal rights, it would not be ripping private footage out of context, including conversations with his lawyers that were never intended for public viewing. Apparently, he also made an effort to have the entire project removed from the Netflix platform just before its scheduled release. Now, Diddy attempting to get the content taken down is understandable, but Ja Rule's response strikes fans as excessive, and they have been criticizing him for it.
Very much giving me the family that likes to protect that weird uncle instead of protecting the people who he's harming. Ja Rule took to the internet to say this about 50 Cent, calling him a snitch. I just think it's weird that you feel like this is snitching. It's like y'all do know that if he didn't do these horrible things, that there would be nothing to talk about. And this is what I'm saying. It very much is given that a lot of y'all was at the Diddy parties doing what the Diddy Diddler was doing, and now y'all are upset because it's all coming out.
But naturally, Ja Rule has been defensive, informing his supporters that he is not excusing Diddy's actions, but merely pointing out 50's inconsistency. However, spoiler alert, no one is convinced. Fans are suspicious of another motive. And here is the biggest revelation. Everyone might be accurate. According to individuals close to Ja, he is actually panicking because an explosive, industry-shaking explicit tape featuring him and Diddy is currently circulating. Yes, it appears Ja was among Diddy's male companions, and 50 possesses the undeniable evidence. Therefore, Ja Rule's meltdown regarding the documentary is actually driven by his intense anxiety over what 50 plans to release next. And no, this is hardly the wildest claim circulating, because Diddy's primary associate, Gene Deal, exposed details about Ja and Diddy being intimate years ago. He once witnessed Diddy purchase sexual devices from a store.
There's one part he picked up some things from up here on my left side, And then he picked like quite a few of them down. I'm like, okay. He put them in the bag. So when I went by there, and I looked up there, and it said, butt plug. And I was like, hey, yo.
Later that same day, he brought those plugs to a hotel room he was occupying with one man and one woman.
Rapper and him, they all in the room together. You know, it's Sarah, the girl, Puff, and this dude.
Gene departed, leaving the trio to conduct their activities until a man claiming to be the rapper's cousin arrived. This individual attempted to gain entry to the room, which required Gene to assert control over the situation. Predictably, a disturbance ensued, and guess who emerged from the room? It was none other than Ja Rule, accompanied by Diddy and wearing only a towel.
When Ja Rule runs out the room, Puff got his towel, Ja grabbing his towel, but they busted naked. And so then Ja was like, yo, what's going on? Yo, Gene, that's my cousin. He know me well. You know, and Puff was like, yo, Gene.
But how can people be sure that Gene is telling the truth and not fabricating stories merely for attention? Well, this is where Ja Rule's wife becomes relevant. A few years ago, Aisha Atkins publicly revealed that Ja had abandoned her for a man. She held nothing back when she sat down for her interview with MTV. We dedicated over 10 years to building our marriage, but it took him only 2 years to conclude he would prefer to engage in homosexual activity than remain with his wife. While that sounds harsh, Aisha Atkins had every justification for being angry. Her husband was sentenced to 2 years in prison for a weapons violation and was released in 2013. Instead of immediately returning to his wife, he became intimate with his cellmate. He came back home only to gather his belongings and leave, Aisha claimed. Now, that level of betrayal was something Aisha could never forgive. But how does this connect to Ja Rule's current predicament? Well, fans theorize that if he was willing to be intimate with his fellow inmate, he likely submitted to Diddy as well. This could account for the supportive feelings Ja expressed toward Diddy when Diddy faced legal trouble.
What's your take on what's happening with him?
You know, it's another black man in this industry going through some unfortunate, circumstances. And so, I wish him luck as well with everything.
Frankly, given Ja Rule aggressively criticizing 50 for revealing Diddy's secrets and his public expressions of sympathy for the music executive, followers are entirely convinced the two shared a relationship. One person commented, "He definitely took you on shopping trips." Concurrently, another individual posted, "Ja Rule," one person commented, and mixed adventure. But you still haven't clarified why you and Diddy were in the same room wearing towels, along with personal lubricants, sexual aids, and who knows what else was present. Regarding whether 50 has the authority to publicly challenge both Diddy and Ja Rule, most fans believe that is beside the point.
Seeing a lot of people say that 50 Cent is Diddy in a different font. And listen, I'm not here to say that 50 Cent is the best person in the world. That is not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is that if 50 Cent were really that bad, someone would go ahead and produce a documentary like the one he produced about.
And that is precisely why, ultimately, Ja Rule can hurl every possible insult at 50. But the internet community remains unconvinced. It is evident that he is terrified that 50's documentary is merely the initial step. Because if 50 genuinely possesses that explicit video featuring him and Diddy, Ja is not just protecting Diddy. He is protecting his own reputation. The sole question left is Ja Rule truly prepared to occupy a prison cell alongside Diddy?